Hey guys, Metro Boomin actually just dropped a new album. It's called Heroes and Villains. It's been going crazy all over the internet. He even had like a short movie he released before the album. He's even had all these like crazy graphics for each artist that's on the album, and it's pretty much some hard bangers on there as well. So I'm super excited for today's video since Metro Boomin is actually one of the producers that got me into music production. So today I'm pretty much going to show you guys all the secrets to his dark sound on Heroes and Villains. So we're pretty much going to recreate a similar vibe from the album, all from scratch. So let's go. So first things first, we're going to bump the BPM up to about 150. And now we pretty much need our first sound. So obviously if you've been listening to Metro Boomin for a while and on this album as well, the vibe is usually like super dark. So when I say dark, I mean like horror movie type of vibes. So we pretty much need like a super dark sound. You would usually hear him go for like dark bells, choirs, or even like some stringed instruments. But for this one, I'm just going to use a choir. So I'm just going to search up choir right here in Omnisphere. And I'm going to try this sound right here. Now the key we're working is D sharp minor. Metro actually keeps it super simple. The key is actually to make a minor chord first. So we're going to make a D sharp minor just like this. Now we just want to extend these, and this right here is pretty much the trick. You just want to copy the same chord over and just pitch this middle note down by one semitone. You can pretty much hear it's going to give it this dark vibe. So that's pretty much a super simple way to get this Metro vibe we're looking for. But the production on the album is of course way more unique than this. So we're pretty much going to shorten them up first. So the first thing we can do is actually invert these middle notes up. And to fill out these gaps we have left right here, we pretty much just want to use the same notes we are already using right here. So we can just copy this over, pitch this down by one, and then we can pitch this up by one octave. Now let's just copy this over so we have the same pattern, but let's make it a bit more interesting on the second part. So I think I'm just going to add a small note right here, and we'll see how this sounds. It's definitely dark. Now I'm just going to randomize a little bit of the velocity, and then we definitely want to add some effects to this. So to start off with, classic Metro, you want to have a halftime. I'm going to put it at about 40%. Then we can just add a reverb too. And some EQ just so we can filter out the sound. Make it a bit more darker. Now for the second sound, I'm just going to layer this first choir with this lost bell that I have in my one-shot kit. The one-shot kit is actually not out yet. Hopefully it's going to be out in like a week. I'm working super hard on it, so please stay tuned for that one. But if you're watching this in the future, it should be a link down below. So I'm pretty much just going to copy the exact same pattern from the choir. But for this bell, I definitely want to go way more unique for the effects. So I'm pretty much going to use this vintage verb right here. But I'm actually going to go for this spacious vocal preset. So it's a bit more unique. Now I want the bell to sound a bit more vintage, so I'm just going to use this radio EQ right here. Then I'm just going to add this crystallizer and also this kickstart too, just to give it some more movement. The sample is seriously giving me a Metro vibe, but for the next sound I think I'm going to add like a horn, and I seriously want to mellow out the sound of the horn so we can pretty much have a super vintage sounding trumpet. So for that one I'm just going to use this trumpet 2 in Session Horns Pro. Just make sure to turn this humanize up all the way. This is just going to make it sound a bit more realistic. Now for the trumpet pattern, you pretty much just want to follow the notes that we used in the choir pattern. So we can have this one and this, use this one again, and do something more unique for the last part. Maybe one octave up. Yeah, that's way better. Now the way you can make this trumpet sound super vintage is actually by using this Abbey Road Chambers effect. Just go to the presets, and I'm going to use this shiny brass preset. Just lower the volume for that one. Now the last sound I'm going to be adding is just some atmosphere type of sound from this Imperial Banking Contact. So I'm just using this preset right here, and I'm literally just going to add a small note like this on this 3 and this 7 right here. It's pretty much just gonna give the sample some extra texture. So that was pretty much the sample. Now I quickly just consolidated the track like this, and I want to play around with the pitch of the sample. And if you listen to the album, you can also hear Metro using a lot of sub bass in his tracks. So I think we'll definitely add a sub bass later, but to be honest, I want to start off with the drums so we can get a nice bounce going. So firstly, I'm just gonna pitch down the sample maybe 4 semitones, and we can try reversing it as well. So for the drums, all the sounds I'm using are coming from my No Limit drum kit, first link down below. So I'm just gonna start off with this go-to clap. Now Metro keeps his hi-hats super simple, so I'm pretty much going to go with a standard 2-step first, and then I'm pretty much just going to add a couple rolls, maybe one right here. You can add one right here as well. Just copy this over and delete this one. See how this sounds? Super simple, but keeps the bounce. So this snare pretty much fits perfectly right here where the hi-hat stops. Pretty much the only detail I did right here was actually lower a little bit of the velocity on this one, just so it gives it some more bounce. Now we can add this open hat too. Now I think it's time for the 808. So I'm just going to use this gear 808 right here. Now Metro Boomin pretty much keeps his 808 bounce super simple, but he definitely makes it a bit more unique in some areas. So we're going to start off with a pretty simple bounce like this. We can do a pretty cool roll right here. So I just made this cool roll right here at the end. For the kick pattern, we're actually going to copy the same exact one from the 808, but the oldest Metro Boomin trick from way back is actually by moving some of the kicks away from the 808, just so they don't all hit on the same time. This is pretty much going to add some more bounce. Remember guys, if you need drum kits, free sample packs, one-shots and so on, just go to my website. It's BBMarko.com. It's obviously linked down below. Besides that, I thank you guys so much for watching, and here's the full beat.
Shut up, Marko.